言葉だけじゃ伝わらないものを一番伝えたいのはなぜ靴と振り減らして裸足でも止まれないのはなぜバラの中に星空嵐の夜もそこにあるそろそろ旅に出ろ
I don't think this rain is going to let up. If you want to rest here, you're welcome to.
No, I couldn't. They'd get mad at me if I went in the estate. I'll be happy somewhere here just as long as I'm out of the rain.
Come in, it'll be fine.
And as for those fans you're selling, we'll buy them all.
Thank you, but...
Just what are you planning?
What's that?
What do you want, kid?
Stop waving that sword around and show some respect.
Draw your blade.
Do what?
Hey, come on, kid.
What the hell is that?
Amazing. How did that even happen? I told you, it's a yoey.
If it was during the day yesterday, that would be Toshizo.
Who is Toshizo?
Well, you see, I've got these distant relatives that live in Tama, and they'd asked if their son could come and do an apprenticeship with me. So the boy came here to check it out, but he turned out to be quite a monster.
A monster?
He means he was a bit of a rascal.
He's the son of a farmer, but all the boy ever talked about was wanting to become a warrior. Regardless, if it is Toshizo, chances are he's already back in Tama.
Why do you ask? He didn't cause you any trouble, did he?
No.
Yeah, the name's Tamahe of Yotsuya. Take a look. This is from your place, right? Some kid ordered a bunch of eel and nezu. Then he split without paying, but he left this behind.
This must be about Toshizo again.
Huh? First that samurai and now this? What's that brat doing, causing trouble everywhere he goes? Samurai? There was a samurai who came asking about this kid? Yes, he was just here. He what?
Eat, Yukiatsu. I'm so glad you've come back.
Thank you.
Amazing creatures, those people we call mothers.
I know. And she still seems so young.
That's not what I'm talking about. Ryudo left quite a long time ago, and in those 25 years he's been gone, he became a man, but she never saw that. Yet she knew him at once.
Oh.
That you, Yukiatsu? Do you not remember me anymore? From the Branch family.
Is that really you? We'd hang out in the garden.
Yes, and you would shove me in the pond on a regular basis. Well, I've come here today as a representative of the Branch families.
Madam, please. Perhaps it's time you retire for the day.
Sure.
We shall excuse ourselves as well. That must have made you happy, Ryudo. Your mother remembered you as soon as she saw your face.
Not really. My mother has never once called me by the name Yukiatsu.
Huh?
She called me by my boyhood name, Soya. I think she must be mistaking me for the adopted son.
I'm so sorry.
Excuse me, Hosaburo Ogasawa-ra, but if you don't mind, I would like to ask you to stay for a bit.
Find Genbatsu and go after the child.
Yes, sir.
Once I find out why the adopted Yukiatsu left, I'll leave too and catch up with everyone else.
Take your time and let her spoil you.
Sure.
I think you're right. Your mother is getting older, and perhaps as a result of that, her understanding of things has gotten a bit hazy. But with that aside, I really doubt she would recognize you immediately after 25 years of absence. Right now, she believes the adopted Yukiatsu has returned home.
I'm not really bothered by that, but I do want to know why he left in the first place.
No one has any idea at all. He just got up and left one day.
Does the adopted Yukiatsu have a wife by chance?
He lost her to an illness 2 years ago. Yukiatsu, why don't you turn your mother's misunderstanding into a reality?
Wait, you don't really think I should actually...
It was nothing but divine intervention that led you back home. Please, come back as the original Yukiatsu Ryudo. It would make your mother very happy.
I intentionally ran away from that job, and I was subsequently disowned for that act.
Those things are in the past and can be worked out. What do you think?
Well, as an official of the Barbarian Knowledge Enforcement, if you need me to verify his identity, I'd be happy to do it.
Hey, hold on there, Chief. What you guys are talking about is crazy. The truth is, with my status, I should never have been allowed back in this house.
We know that. However, without someone at the head of this house, the Ryudo family will be no more.
Warriors' houses are so stupid. Just because these shobu flowers have a name that sort of sounds like the word duel, they go and plant them everywhere they can.
I still can't figure out how you knew where to find me.
You have a face people remember. I asked around. It was easy.
You're a warrior too, right?
I'd rather make my way as an artist. I could quit being a warrior anytime I want.
Well, I will be a warrior. I went to Ueno yesterday. One of my relatives said he'd take me on as an apprentice. I could work there for a bunch of years and become the head clerk, or if I'm lucky, get my own store. I started taking a long, hard look at what my future held. All I want is to live my life with honor. Warriors are the model of man, aren't they? Sacrificing oneself to fight and protect others. But today, the number of warriors that get any respect are few and far between.
You're right about that.
Well, I will become that warrior.
Does having a sword and handed-down family name make you a warrior now? Is that really your definition of honor?
I clearly sense the aura of a Yoi coming from him.
This isn't good. He smells like Yuki does.
Just what do you mean by that?
Well...
This sword belongs to me! To Yukiatsu Ryudo!
I'm not sure I can turn a gun on a little boy.
Leave this to me.
Stop this, Toshizo! The people you're fighting are trying to save you!
Pretty impressive, isn't it? Not many can use a short sword to keep up with a spear! Hey, what the heck are you doing? I'm right in the middle of a fight with this guy!
That sword.
It's a Yoi.
There he is! Listen, kid, you're paying for that attitude you gave earlier.
All right, everyone, stand down a second.
This is bad. If all their swords turn into Yoi...
Hold on. You really gonna try and bring down this Yoi without me?
I'm an adopted son as well, so I can never return to my own family. But if I were born to a warrior family, my priority would be carrying on that house's name.
Yukiatsu, the tea is ready now. Won't you sit and have some? Please, it'd make me so happy. Come quickly, or it will get cold. What's wrong with your arm, dear? Did you do something to injure yourself?
Well, it seems I'm still tripping and bumping into things at times. I've acquired some scratches as a result. I'm afraid all that hasn't made me more adept at walking, though.
You still have time.
This is the room where it all happened. Where I became bewitched by the other world and disappeared. But you probably don't remember any of that. The other world chose me for some reason. There was even a time when I was arrogant enough to believe that made me different. And then a friend of mine stepped in and set me straight. He reminded me that I was just another insignificant human being. And after that, I wandered the country aimlessly. It was a journey with no end.
Hold on, please. The madam is with a guest right now.
It's Tori.
What a surprise, if it isn't Lord Ayashi.
My apologies for not staying in touch, Lady Toku. You don't remember me, do you? Ryudo, your father was my father's pupil, and his name was Jusai Hayashi. I used to accompany my father when he'd come to visit here. However, you were still quite young at the time.
What are you saying? You'd visit me when I was a child?
If all their swords turn into Yoi, we won't stand a chance.
That means we move first. Agreed?
No, we can't do that either.
Stop! Stop already! I told you to stop already! That's not what I wanted. I'm not after a sword or a name. That stupid thing has nothing to do with honor at all!
What? It just swallowed them.
Is there any weapon that will actually affect it?
My name was Toshizo Hichikata, but now it's Yukiatsu Ryudo, and I command you to go back to your master!
Yoi!
That one's been to the other world with Yukiatsu. That's when it became the Yoi that it is now.
It's finally shown itself.
let it escape?
Look, over there!
So this one travels underground.
And it's headed for Ueno. I think we should try and get ahead of it to stop its progress.
But how do we do that? Our weapons are of no use. It swallows anything we throw at it.
I bet Yukiatsu might be able to do something. Let's try someone else.
Huh? Why not?
We just can't use him right now. He's busy. I really don't know what you're trying to get at, but whatever. Let's go, Yukiwa.
Agreed.
Hey! I told you that he's busy right now!
That horse just flew off.
Know what? You were quite the samurai.
I saw something strange just now.
Huh?
I was a whole lot older than I am today. And I was on some battlefield. Everyone on my side was dead except me. I was still standing. And right then...
Change your mind about being a samurai?
Not at all. As far as deaths go, it wasn't that bad.
After you chose to run away from this house, I introduced one of my mother's relatives to your family for adoption, and he was an excellent fit. His original name was Mitsutaka Maihara.
What an odd bond we both share.
I will not fail to bring Maihara back to this house.
What you're saying is that the last thing you want for this house is me at the helm.
There is an entirely different path that you must walk. You are the only child who has ever been taken by the other world and safely returned. In my eyes, that's undeniable proof that for some reason you have been chosen.
Don't give me that. I am nothing more than a vagrant.
You're wrong. You're neither an Ayashi nor a vassal of the Shogun, and someday you will save the Tokugawa.
That only makes me want to come back to this house even more then. Come back here and forget about the other world.
I highly doubt you mean that.
Please leave us now. It may be temporary, but for the time being, I am the head of this house. The Lord of Kai has left. You can stop worrying. I made a decision. I'm going to stay here.
Ever since you were a little boy, that man has shown an interest in you. It's been 25 years. Where have you been this whole time? You lived with me for 15 years, but you stayed away for much longer than that.
Mother, you know. You've known that it was me this entire time?
Did you really think that I wouldn't, Soya?
But earlier, you called me Yukiatsu.
Having become the grown man you are, it seemed inappropriate to call you Soya.
I don't believe it. He remembered me. Otto.
Your sword has become a Yoi and is headed for Ueno.
Really? That short sword?
It turns out, Yuki, that in Ueno there's another one of you!
Oh my.
Pardon the intrusion, madam. You see, I was on the trail of that brat who's using your name. And then, I came across a warrior who said he'd given the name Yukiatsu as well as the sword to the exact same kid.
The adopted Yukiatsu did this?
The only Yuki I know anything about is you. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of you slackers running around.
Very well, Mother. I will go and bring the real Yukiatsu back to you.
You can try to bring him back if you want, but he left on his own accord.
If the name Yukiatsu Ryudo was stripped from me, what would I have left? I'm afraid the answer is nothing. And I find that thought incredibly terrifying to me. He didn't want the House of Ryudo to fall apart, but he didn't want that to be the only thing that gave him purpose. I felt the same way. However, the sword that guards the Ryudo house feels differently. It doesn't forgive those who try to abandon the family.
But that is exactly what he wished for.
You really want me to leave things as they are now?
You've neglected your mother for 25 years. Is wanting you to stay too much to ask?
I'm sorry. Mother, the 15 years I spent with you in this house were some of the best years of my life. But in the 25 years that I've been gone from here, I've lived a whole other life. And I can't forget that. I'm so sorry.
Please, Yukiatsu.
Mother, just the fact that you remembered me has made me happier than you could possibly imagine. But Mother, this is the man that your Yukiatsu has become.
What the hell?
It's here. We made it just in time. It's the end of the road for that Yoi. Genbatsu, use all the gunpowder you have.
Yes, sir.
Over there.
Am I who you want? Did you come to punish me?
What is that? Ryudo! What are you saying?
That thing is a result of Yukiatsu merging with Quetzalcoatl.
That Yoi has the same Ayagami as Yukiatsu.
He'll be cut to pieces at this rate.
Soya.
That's the Ayagami for So.
For so?
The character means to purify. Its origins depict the image of a woman, and all over her body are patterns drawn to ward off evil. It has the power to deflect an enemy's attack. But why did he choose a woman?
Soya. It's what his mother called him as a boy.
Yukiyatsu's mother?
She gave him that as a child. She gave him that Ayagami along with his name.
Show me your Ayagami! Look! Yukiyatsu has drawn out its Ayagami!
Perhaps that thing is the very embodiment of a warrior. Ryudo!
So, are you Mitsutaka Maehara?
Who are you?
From here on, there's no longer anything binding you to the House of Ryudo. Do as you wish. I have no idea who you are, but I am incredibly grateful that you have found our family heirloom. With this, I can return to the Ryudo house. Is that what you want? Well, I am a warrior, and as a consequence, it's my duty to protect that house. This sword and I have the same job. I've finally come to realize that. I want nothing more than to live my life as Yukiyatsu Ryudo. What happened to that Toshizo kid?
Went home to Tama, but says someday he'll be a warrior.
I'm a bit confused now. What does it mean to be a warrior?
It's just like the other world. Some people think they want to be a warrior, or they think they want to live like a warrior lives. But a real warrior may be nothing more than an illusion.
Those are some pretty lofty thoughts. So what does that make you then?
How would each of you describe a man who can't grant his aging mother's last request?
Totally worthless.
I'd have to agree. You know, it's odd. No matter how much we age, summer always shows up, ready and waiting.
It seems the Northern Magistrate oversees the importing of foreign goods, particularly the items brought in from the Northern Sea. But for some reason, another forbidden good has made its way here. Chapter 21. To Perish the Starlit Night.